Good morning, everyone. Tom here again with another tutorial on the Exo BlackHawk 3 drone. If you're like me, you've likely been trying to get rid of that annoying warning message when trying to use the collision avoidance feature on this drone. And you also want the collision avoidance to actually work when you fly the drone. In order to do the visual calibration on this drone, you're going to need to download some software and make some adjustments to your PC. However, don't worry, I'll walk you step by step through the process. I also want to put you at ease. This procedure really did work on my drone. I'll show you the successful flight when I was done. Let's go over downloading the software first. You're going to need to go to the website shown to access the download page. Don't worry, this is not a scam site. This is the company that actually built the BlackHawk 3 drone. Once you are in the site, click on Support, then scroll down and you will see all the available drones. The drone that matches the BlackHawk 3 is the Hubsan Ace 2. Click on the visual calibration link to begin downloading the software. Depending on your internet speed, it may take a few moments for the file to download. Once it has downloaded, click to open. This is a perfect opportunity to show you a problem I ran into. My computer did not have a current zip opener. You see, some files are compressed so they don't take as long to download. However, those files need to be unzipped once you download them. In this case, I'm just going to the Windows Store to find a quick zip software. Once this software downloaded from the Windows Store, I opened it. It took a few moments to install. Now, I simply needed to drag the calibration software to the zip software, and the zip software opens up the files I need. Now, for some of you, I know that part seemed like a waste of time. However, I find it very frustrating when tutorial videos don't show the problems I ran into. So, when I run into issues and come up with a solution, I'm going to share them so someone else can fix that faster. Now, let's move on, opening the calibration software. You'll need to double-click on the file folder the zip software created. Then, click on Windows. Now, this word document, it will give you a printed tutorial on how to get the driver to work correctly on your computer. However, I'm going to be walking you through that. Now, most PCs are 64-bit, so I'm clicking on the 64-bit folder. Then, finally, installing the calibration software on my PC. Because some virus software and firewalls can interfere with installation, I'm temporarily shutting off my firewall and real-time protection before I click Next. Depending on your computer, this installation may take a few moments. Note, once it is installed, don't open the software yet. We need to make some changes prior to opening the software. Finally installed. However, we aren't ready yet. I know, this is a lengthy process. Right now, your computer does not have the correct driver in it to read your BlackHawk 3 drone. And even if the driver was there, it still wouldn't be able to communicate with it. This is where we need to go in and install the driver. Then, make a change in our network settings. Don't worry, it's not hard. It's just part of the process. To install the driver, right-click the Start menu, then scroll to Device Manager and click on it. Plug your drone into the USB port, then turn on your drone. You should then see this device pop up under Other Devices. Right-click on this, then click Update Driver. Select Browse My Computer. Then, select to let you pick from a list of devices. Scroll down to Network Adapters, then click and Next. Now, scroll down to Microsoft and select it. Then select the adapter shown and click Next. Don't worry about the warning. Go ahead and install the driver. You'll now see this device listed under your network adapters. Wow! Are you still with me? I know. These are a lot of steps just to get a driver installed. However, we have one more thing we need to change in the computer before we can use the calibration software. Let's get to it. Left-click the Start menu, then start typing Control Panel. When you see the Control Panel, click it to open it. From the Control Panel, click on Network and Internet. Then Network and Sharing. Now click on Change Network Settings. Now, this is where I got nervous until I saw what they were doing. We are simply going to create a new network connection specifically for the drone through the USB. Don't ask me why they did it this way, but that is how they did it. You will not be changing any settings that affect your internet or computer. With that said, right-click this network file we created earlier, then click Properties. Now, left-click on the protocol shown. Then, click on Properties. We're going to give this our own specific IP address. So click the button, then enter the numbers exactly as shown. Remember, feel free to pause this video at any time. Now close this out, then power down your drone and power it back up again. We'll then be able to use the calibration software. Now, we are ready to open the software and perform the visual calibration. However, let's take a moment to explain what we will be doing. We'll be pointing the front sensors of your drone at specific targets on the computer screen. It is very important the screen is straight up and down and clean. It is also important the drone is kept pointed straight and held as steady as possible. While you are pointing at the targets, keep the same distance away from the screen. Then, the software will tell you when to pull the drone away, or closer. This part of the calibration is not near as difficult as setting up the software, but following instructions is important. One more tip before we get started: the drone has to be plugged into the computer the entire time. Be sure you're using a USB cable that is long enough and is of good quality. I tried using a lower quality USB cable and lost communication during calibration, which is very frustrating. It's likely the software didn't create an icon for your desktop, so left-click on the Start menu, then start typing the work hubzen. You'll see the software as shown. Click on this to open the software. Oops! Remember I told you I wouldn't leave out the troubles I had? Well, I initially tried using my widescreen monitor, and the software didn't like the settings. You can try adjusting the settings. However, I recommend using a normal-size monitor or a laptop. Switching to a laptop resolved this message for me. Let's go over the order of operations, so it goes smoothly this time. Turn on the drone, plug the drone into your USB, then open the software. Now, you might want to pull up a chair. This connection can take some time. I moved on to something else while this program did its thing. Once it connects, it will show you what it is connected to. Now, here's a sample again of what I did wrong, so you don't make the same mistake. Remember at the beginning I told you the specific drone software to download? Well, if you didn't download the correct software, it will ID your drone incorrectly, then the calibration will fail. However, if you downloaded it correctly, it will ID your drone as Hubsan Ace. Then, you click on the icon to start calibrating. The spinning illustration is showing you how to move the drone during the calibration. Before you click Start Calibration, get the drone's front sensors pointed at the screen, straight and steady, then start calibration. You will notice the red square follows your drone, so put the red square into the green square. Then move in or out as needed to get the lines to line up, like you see here. Now, without moving closer or further away, aim the red square at each point as you are prompted. Once you have completed a set, it will have you move the drone closer or further away from the screen. And then you will repeat that set again. Once the front camera is complete, you will be prompted to turn the drone around and do the exact same process with the rear camera. Once you see it complete, try not to disturb your drone or cable. It's a bummer to have to start over. If it is successful, you get this message when it completes. Success! Finally, this visual calibration is completed. As promised, I'm going to show you the successful flight. However, I wanted to relay how frustrating this procedure was. I spent countless hours trying to get the software and driver to work, countless more to figure out with drone software to use. Be aware, folks, I'm not an Exo drone employee or even an experienced drone operator. I'm just a do-it-yourselfer that likes technology. With that said, I can't promise you won't have issues I didn't experience. I can promise, however, every step you saw is exactly what it took for me to get this done. Note, you should recalibrate your gimbal and compass before flying. Also note, when you turn on the obstacle avoidance, if something went wrong, the drone can be very unpredictable. I found this out the first time I forced my drone into obstacle avoidance without calibrating. Not something I'd recommend. So start slow, close to ground, verify everything works before a longer flight. Okay, so I have the obstacle avoidance turned off. Notice the message. I'm going to turn it back on and verify no more annoying messages. Then, verify it actually works without crashing. Okay, no more message. Now I'm going to test it out on our cattle trailer. Hear it beeping fast? And now it won't let me get any closer. Let's try it backwards and see what happens. Great. That works too. One more test. Can I fly it faster than 1 mile per hour? Perfect. That works too. I hope this helps somebody get this done and still have hair left on their head. Click like and subscribe if you found it helpful. And as always, God bless folks.